Open your fridge right now. There's probably chicken in there, maybe some ground beef, maybe leftovers from last night. You bought it, you cooked it, you ate it. Clean, easy. Nobody bled for it, nobody ran for it, nobody died for it. Now picture the version of you from 2 million years ago. Same bones, same brain wiring, same hunger. But instead of a refrigerator, you've got a dead animal on a hot African savannah, and you didn't kill it. Something else did. A lion, a leopard, maybe a pack of hyenas. They ate the best parts first, the organs, the muscle, the fat. By the time you arrived, what was left were bones, cracked open, stripped clean, crawling with flies. And that was dinner. Here's the question nobody in your history class ever asked. What if the image of the brave caveman hunter, spear raised, mammoth falling, is almost entirely wrong? What if for most of human prehistory, your ancestors weren't hunters at all? What if they were scavengers, creeping in after the kill, stealing scraps from predators, surviving on what the lions left behind? Science says that's exactly what happened, and the answer changes everything you think you know about where you came from.
For a long time, researchers assumed the story of early humans was a story of hunting. The cave paintings showed spears. The stone tools looked like weapons. The fossils showed big game animals alongside human remains. The conclusion seemed obvious. Early humans hunted. They were apex predators almost from the beginning. But that assumption turned out to be wrong, very wrong. In 1981, archaeologist Henry Bunn at the University of California began studying animal bones found at Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, one of the oldest and richest sites of early human activity on Earth, dating back nearly 2 million years. What he found didn't match the hunting story at all. The cut marks from stone tools on the bones were underneath the tooth marks from carnivores, not on top, underneath. Think about this. If early humans had hunted these animals, their tools would have cut the flesh first. The carnivore bites would come later, from scavengers stealing the leftovers. But the evidence showed the opposite. The carnivores ate first. The humans came after. Bunn's discovery didn't just challenge the hunting theory, it demolished it. So what were your ancestors actually doing out there?
The answer starts with a bone, specifically a thigh bone. When a lion kills a zebra on the African savannah, it eats fast. The muscle, the organs, the soft tissue, gone within hours. The hyenas arrive and crack through the ribs. Vultures strip what's left. By the time every other scavenger is finished, what remains are the largest bones, the femurs, the skulls. Bones so thick that no jaw on the African savannah, not a hyena, not a leopard, not anything can break them open. Except early humans. In 1964, archaeologist Louis Leakey, excavating Olduvai Gorge, found stone tools, now called Oldovan tools, the oldest deliberately shaped tools in human history, dating back 2.6 million years. These weren't spear tips, they were choppers and flakers, designed for one specific purpose, smashing open thick bones to get at what was inside. Marrow. Gray, slick, fat-soaked marrow. Here's what's really interesting. Bone marrow is one of the most calorie-dense foods that exists in nature. A single large femur holds enough fat and calories to fuel a human body for hours. And for 2 million years, no other animal on Earth could get to it. The marrow was locked inside bones that nothing else could break. Your ancestors had found a food source with zero competition. They weren't at the bottom of the food chain. They had found a gap in it that no predator could fill.
They crept in after the kill. They grabbed the bones, they smashed them open with rocks, they scooped out the marrow with their fingers and ate it raw. That was the original human meal.
But here's what nobody talks about. It wasn't just marrow. They ate the brains too. A human skull holds nearly a pound of dense, fat-rich brain tissue. For an ancestor surviving on whatever the predators left behind, a cracked skull was a jackpot. Researchers at sites across Africa and Europe have found early human skulls with the same distinctive marks, stone tool marks around the base, at the temples, precisely where you would work to open a skull and extract the brain. And it gets stranger. In 2017, a team of researchers led by paleoanthropologist Manuel Domínguez-Rodrigo published a landmark study reanalyzing bones from sites across East Africa. Their finding? Early humans weren't just occasional scavengers stealing a meal when they got lucky. Scavenging was the primary survival strategy for Homo habilis, your direct ancestor, for nearly 1 million years. 1 million years of sneaking in after the lions finished. 1 million years of eating what everything else left behind. Your body still remembers this. The reason you crave fat the way you do, the reason a greasy meal feels deeply satisfying in a way that a salad never quite does, is because fat was the rarest, most valuable, most life-saving thing your ancestors could find. Every gram of marrow they pulled from a broken bone on a hot savanna was the difference between surviving the week and not. Your brain learned to treat fat like treasure. Not because you're weak, because for 1 million years, finding fat meant staying alive. Your cravings aren't character flaws, they're ancient programming that kept your bloodline going.
This is why your body reacts the way it does when you smell meat cooking. Your brain doesn't know you live in the 21st century. It doesn't know grocery stores exist. It doesn't know that food is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a 5-minute drive from wherever you are. Your brain is still running 2-million-year-old software written on the African savannah, surrounded by predators, waiting for the lions to finish so you could move in and grab the bones. In 2010, researcher David Geary at the University of Missouri published findings showing that the modern human brain still carries what he called evolutionary mismatch responses, reflexes, and cravings built for a world that no longer exists. The craving for fat, the instinct to eat as much as possible when food is available, the deep satisfaction of a rich, heavy meal. These aren't modern problems. These are ancient solutions running in the wrong century. Think about this. The last time you ate more than you needed to, more than you were actually hungry for, you weren't being weak. You were being human. You were running the same program that kept your ancestors alive on a savanna 2 million years ago. Eat everything available. Store every calorie, because tomorrow the lions might not make a kill. Tomorrow there might be nothing. The scavenger in you never left. It just found a refrigerator.
So, here's where we've ended up. The brave caveman with the spear. That image is real, but it came later, much later. For the first 1 million years of your story, the weapon wasn't a spear, it was a rock. And it wasn't used to kill anything. It was used to crack open bones that nothing else on earth could break. Your ancestors didn't stand at the top of the food chain. They found a gap in it that nobody else could fill. They were patient. They were opportunistic. They were, in the truest sense, survivors. The marrow they pulled from those bones fed the brains that eventually built language. Those brains built tools. Those tools built weapons. Those weapons built hunters. And those hunters built everything that came after. You are not the descendant of the lion on the savannah. You are the descendant of the creature smart enough to wait until the lion was finished and then walk in and take what was left. That patience, that intelligence, that refusal to go hungry when there was still something the world hadn't eaten yet, that's what made you. If you want to know more about what your ancestors really were, subscribe. There's a lot more buried in where we came from.